Our top focus this morning is on the situation in Chennai. The city continues to battle nature's fury because of incessant rainfall over the weekend. On Sunday, Chennai received over 200 mm of rainfall, the highest since 2015. The Met Department has predicted that there will be more rainfall in the coming days. Over the next 5 days is the forecast. After the authorities sounded a flood alert in Chennai, Prime Minister Modi also spoke to the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister to take stock of the situation. The Prime Minister assured all possible support from the centre in rescue and relief work. Officials are on alert because water from the Chembrabakam and Pundi reservoirs have now been released. They are almost nearing full capacity. All measures are being taken as we speak to remove stagnant water. The National Disaster Management Authority has pre-deployed 4 of its teams in Tamil Nadu on the state government's request, while 1 team each has been deployed in Tiruvallur and Chengalpattu district. 2 others are in Madurai as well. The onset of the northeast monsoon and the formation of a low pressure in Bay of Bengal is causing the incessant rainfall in Chennai. What we can also tell you is that through last night, there's been no heavy rainfall in the city, but in the outskirts, again, places like Villupuram, you're seeing very heavy rainfall being reported.
Streets flooded. Vehicles submerged. Houses inundated. Intermittent rainfall battered Chennai on Sunday. Parts of the city witnessed severe waterlogging after recording over 200 millimeters rainfall in 24 hours, the heaviest since 2015. Authorities sounded a prior flood alert after city reservoirs and lakes were opened up to let out surplus rainwater.
The reservoirs in and around Chennai are also filling up. Chembrambakam, Pural, Pundi, all of them are seeing high levels of water levels, and many of these reservoirs are also being opened up for water to come out. So this is going to be a tough scenario.
NDRF teams are deployed to carry out rescue operations in low-lying areas.
We're at Tenapet Vijayaraghava Road, where rescue officials are currently even using boats over here to move people from one direction to the other. This is a very important road, almost just a couple of 100 kilometers from DMK headquarters, and this is the condition at this point. Officials claim that they are trying to make sure that everybody's rescued from the place.
Popular Marina Beach too witnessed the rain mayhem.
We are currently at Marina Beach in Chennai. This is a service lane, and just a couple of 100 meters away we have the beach. But however, this is also completely submerged, and people are trying hard to salvage whatever they could actually take from this location. This whole stretch would be full of shops. Everything is closed, and people are very much suffering because of one night's heavy rainfall in Chennai.
The nature's fury made people run to protect their vehicles parked on flyovers.
We're on top of the Velachery Bridge, and what we can see here is that residents in and around this region have started parking their cars on top of the bridge. You can see how there is a line of cars being parked on either side of the bridge, and this is a scenario of panic that we can see.
Angry citizens call it poor flood management by Chennai civic authorities.
It's the corporation that has to do the work. We can't keep blaming the government every time, but it's the official, not the officials, but even the lower level officials who are supposed to come and work in the field.
Chief Minister Stalin visited parts of the city wading through knee-deep water, inspecting low-lying areas and helped in food distribution, and instructing officials and DMK cadres to assist affected people by providing them food, medicine and shelter.
பாதிக்கப்பட்ட மக்களுக்கு தேவையான நிவாரண உதவிகள் வழங்குவதற்கான உத்தரவினை நான் பிறப்பித்திருக்கிறேன்.
Monday and Tuesday have been declared as holidays for schools and colleges in Chennai, Kanchipuram, Chengalpattu and Thiruvallur. The Met Department has predicted heavy rainfall in Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and Karaikal for 5 days. A red alert has also been sounded for coastal districts of Tamil Nadu for November 10th and 11th. With Akshanath and Pramod Madhav in Chennai, Bureau Report, India Today.
Sameer Wankhede, the man who was leading the investigation in the Aryan Khan drug case, is now in the line of fire. The Narcotics Bureau Vigilance team from Delhi is going to intensify the probe into the extortion charges that have been levelled against the NCB zonal director. The probe agency team has not been able to find any evidence of extortion so far and only discovered procedural lapses in the filing of the Aryan Khan case. The NCB team will also be visiting all spots related to the drug bust case starting from today. Now, this includes the place where the alleged meeting between SRK's manager Pooja Dadlani and Kiran Gosavi, a witness in the case, happened. The NCB team will also be going through CCTV footage confirming that this alleged meeting of Dadlani and Kiran Gosavi did indeed happen. The vigilance team is also going to be questioning Prabhakar Sahil, Manish Bhanushali, Sunil Patil and Sam D'Souza in the case. All of this comes after Prabhakar Sahil, an independent witness, has claimed that Wankhede demanded 25 crores to let off Aryan Khan in the drug bust case. Aryan Khan, meanwhile, has skipped the NCB summon in this case. Superstar Shah Rukh Khan's son was asked to appear before the probe agency on Sunday for questioning. He didn't turn up. Sources have told India Today that Aryan Khan cited illness and expressed his inability to join the probe on Sunday. He's likely, however, to join the investigation today. Aryan had been granted conditional bail on October 28th by the Bombay High Court. He was asked to cooperate with the Narcotics Bureau as one of the conditions for bail. Now, the cruise drug seizure case in which Aryan Khan was arrested last month was transferred from the NCB Mumbai zonal unit to the SIT team on Friday. DDG Sanjay Singh has taken over 6 cases that were being led by Sameer Wankhede, who's currently facing a departmental probe on extortion allegations. We've been seeing a lot of back and forth, a lot of politics in the Aryan drug bust case. The latest, Maharashtra Minister Nawab Malik has gone after Sameer Wankhede again, claiming a kidnapping and ransom racket being run by Wankhede and former BJP Neta Mohit Kamboj. Here are the details.
मेरा क्राइम इतना है कि मैंने खाली उन दोनों को मिला दिया
और उससे पहले भी वो 2 व्यक्ति एनसीबी के मुख्यालय में जा रहे हैं। ये 6 तारीख दावा लड़ने के लिए हम तैयार हैं।
Twist after twist in the Mumbai cruise drug bust case. While superstar Shah Rukh Khan's son Aryan is on bail, the Maha drug dangle rages on with different sides alleging different masterminds. Maharashtra Minister Nawab Malik launched a fresh tirade at NCB's Sameer Wankhede and alleged that the former BJP leader Mohit Kamboj was the mastermind in the cruise drug bust case.
किडनैपिंग का मास्टरमाइंड है वो मोहित कंबोज है। उगाई के खेल में मोहित कंबोज ये वानखेड़े का साथी है। मोहित कंबोज के और वानखेड़े के अच्छे रिश्ते हैं।
Malik also added that Kamboj and Wankhede were hand in glove and attempted to extort money after kidnapping Aryan.
आर्यन खान को वो स्वयं उस क्रूज पे कोई टिकट निकाल के नहीं गया। ये पूरा मामला किडनैपिंग का और रैंसम का है। मोहित कंबोज के साले की जरिए ट्रैप लगाई गई, वहां आर्यन खान को पहुंचाया गया और किडनैप करके 25 करोड़ की फिरौती मांगने का खेल शुरू हुआ।
Malik alleged that Kamboj was accused in a 1,100 crore bank fraud. Kamboj was quick to respond and hit back, alleging corruption charges against Malik himself.
मोहित कंबोज जो 1100 करोड़ रुपए का बैंक फ्रॉड का एक्यूज है, एक नेता जो मुंबई में कांग्रेस के अध्यक्ष थे, अभी वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी में है, उनका पिछलग्गू था। 1.5 साल पहले एक छापेमारी सीबीआई की इनके घर पे हुई। 60 करोड़ के मामले में छापेमारी हुई, उसके बाद छापेमारी के बाद मामला फिर दब गया।
3000 करोड़ की बेनामी संपत्ति जो उन्होंने महाराष्ट्र में भ्रष्टाचार करके बनाई, ऐसा कौन सा भंगार बेचा, ऐसा कौन सा भंगार बेचते थे कि 3000 करोड़ रुपए की आपकी संपत्ति बन गई। हर एक एरिया, हर एक लोकेलिटी में, मुंबई में फ्लैट, जुहू पे आपका 1000 करोड़ रुपए का प्रोजेक्ट, कुल्ला पे आपकी लैंड। आपने इतना भी नहीं किया, नवाब मलिक जी ने खुद महाराष्ट्र में किसान बनकर किसान की लैंड खरीदी, फार्मिंग लैंड खरीदी। ये सब जैसे जैसे उनकी गुट्टियां खुल रही है, उनका आक्रोश बढ़ रहा है, गुस्सा बढ़ रहा है और झूठे आरोप बढ़ते जा रहे हैं। एनसीपी के फाउंडेशन से जुड़े हुए सदस्य
Mohit Kamboj had claimed that the mastermind in the cruise drug bus case was one Sunil Patil, who is close to NCP netas and is a friend of former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh's son, Rishikesh Deshmukh.
अभी तक होटल ललित के अंदर सुनील पाटिल किन की ऋषिकेश देशमुख के साथ पार्टी करता था और वहाँ पे शराब शबाब कबाब की पार्टियाँ चलती थी और नवाब भी होते थे। अभी तक इसमें क्यों चुप थे? अरे भाई, आज सुनील पाटिल को आगे लाइए ना, सुनील पाटिल को इन्वेस्टिगेट कीजिए कि वहाँ पे ललित होटल में वो क्या करता था।
Sunil Patil, who was missing after his name surfaced in the cruise drug bus case, was tracked down by India Today. He claimed a Manish Bhanushali, Sam D'Souza, Kiran Gosavi plot.
2 तारीख को फिर ये केस हुआ, पैसे के लिए दिन की
1 तारीख की रात को ये जो याद था, तो मैंने जस्ट एनसीबी तो मेरा कोई कनेक्शन नहीं है, मैं तो किसी को जानता भी नहीं हूँ, मेरे पास नंबर भी नहीं मेरा। मैं तो एजेंसी भी देखेगी ना, एनसीबी का कोई ऑफिसर का नंबर है क्या आज तक केस में? तो मेरे उसी दिन मेरे को सैम ने समीर वानखेड़े का नंबर भेजा। बोलता सैम से मैंने इनसे बात करा दी, बोला इनका कुछ काम है, तुम दोनों जाके देख लो। मतलब तुम्हारा उनका टच करके दिया, उतना ही मेरा क्राइम इतना है कि मैंने खाली उन दोनों को मिला दिया।
किसको आपने मिला दिया? समीर वानखेड़े को?
ना
सैम को
और मनीष भानुशाली और किरण गोसावी को।
NCP sources denied all the charges leveled by Malik and said that the NCP leader has not provided any proof of meeting between Wankhede and Kamboj. NCB also added that Aryan in his affidavit has said that he has nothing against the NCB. With the unending war of words and even new allegations of newer masterminds, the Aryan Khan drug bust case is turning into an ugly free-for-all. With Sahil Joshi and Pankaj Upadhyay in Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's get you news from Uttar Pradesh. The state is battling with the rising Zika menace. 10 more people have tested positive for Zika virus in Kanpur city, which takes the total tally now to 89. This includes 12 Indian Air Force officers and 23 patients below the age of 23. The city reported its first case of Zika virus back on October 23rd after an IAF officer had tested positive. Zika is a mosquito-borne virus that spreads through the bite of an infected Aedes species of the mosquito that bites during the daytime. Symptoms of Zika virus includes fever, rash, conjunctivitis, muscle and joint pain, among others. These symptoms usually last for 2 to 7 days.
जनपद कानपुर नगर में आज दिनांक 6 नवंबर 2021 तक जीका वायरस के कुल 79 पॉजिटिव केसेस पाए गए हैं। प्रत्येक पॉजिटिव केस को हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट के आरआरटी टीम के द्वारा घर घर जा करके उनका विजिट करके उनका वाइटल्स लिया जा रहा है और उनको जो सावधानियां बरतनी है उसके बारे में सलाह भी दिया जा रहा है। सोर्स रिडक्शन, साफ सफाई और सैंपलिंग का कार्य लगातार जारी है। जीका के रोकथाम हेतु आप सब लोगों से अपेक्षा है कि घर के अंदर साफ पानी एकत्रित ना होने दें, मच्छरदानी का प्रयोग अवश्य करें।
लखनऊ से निर्देश प्राप्त हुए थे कि लखनऊ के कानपुर के आसपास जो ब्लॉक हैं जो कानपुर से लगते हैं, एक तो उनकी लिस्ट दे दें आप। तो परसों जो है ना, हमने 2 तारीख को एक तो कन्नौज की और दूसरा तिरवा की ये लिस्ट भेज दी थी। ये कानपुर नज़दीक पड़ते हैं। उसके बाद से उन्होंने कहा कि जो विलेज अफेक्टेड हैं, जहाँ पे बुखारी केसेस ज़्यादा निकल रहे हैं, तो वहाँ पे कुछ सैंपल भिजवाइए लखनऊ लैब के लिए। तो वहाँ से हमने 3 तारीख को 32 सैंपल भिजवाए थे कपूरापुर से। उसमें से कल रात को एक केस पॉजिटिव आया है जिसका नाम है दशरथ सनाफ सरफीलाल, उसकी उम्र 45 साल।
And in the national capital, there's a worry over dengue cases. There's also a worry over rising pollution levels. And add to that is the water crisis now. Residents across Delhi woke up to a water shortage on Sunday. Water supply was affected due to an increase in the ammonia levels in the Yamuna River, impacting several treatment plants. water supply in East Delhi, Northeast Delhi, in South Delhi and parts of areas that are really under the New Delhi Municipal Council as well as Malviya Nagar were all affected. The Delhi Jal Board Vice Chairman, AAP MLA Raghav Chadha said that the levels of ammonia in the Yamuna River rose to 3 ppm on Sunday and treatment plants could function at 50% capacity only. The AAP MLA also assured that water supply across Delhi will return to normal from Monday. That's today.
को पानी की ना आजकल बहुत समस्या होने लग गई है और कल से तो फिलहाल पानी बिल्कुल बंद हो गया है और कहा जा रहा है कि पानी आएगा नहीं क्योंकि अमोनिया का लेवल बहुत बढ़ गया है। उस वजह से हमने देखो यहाँ पर बिस्लरी की बोतल भी मंगाई हुई है। पानी खोलते के साथ ही इतनी स्मेल आ रही है, इतना बदबूदार पानी आ रहा है, काफी देर तक तो उसमें बदबू ही रहती है।
कल से तो पानी नहीं आया और पानी जितना वो कई महीनों से तो इतना गंदा पानी है।
हमने देखा कि बीते 24 घंटे के अंदर दिल्ली के कुछ इलाकों के अंदर, जैसा कि मैंने बताया, ईस्ट, नॉर्थ ईस्ट और साउथ दिल्ली में पानी की सप्लाई में गिरावट देखी गई थी। वो इसलिए देखी गई थी क्योंकि यमुना नदी का जो पानी हरियाणा सरकार की ओर से दिल्ली में आता है, उस यमुना नदी के अंदर इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट और कई प्रकार के पॉल्यूटेंट्स के डिस्चार्ज के चलते पानी में गंदगी का स्तर बढ़ गया था, जिसे हम तकनीकी भाषा में अमोनिया कहते हैं। हमने लगातार हरियाणा सरकार के साथ संवाद करके, मैनेजमेंट करके, बात करके इस समस्या को हल करने के अथक प्रयास करें।
Welcome back. India's campaign at the ICC World T20 is officially over. New Zealand defeated Afghanistan by 8 wickets to seal the semi-final spot, thereby ruining Indian fans' hopes of the men in blue making it to the semis.
Afghanistan began with expectations of over $1 billion riding on them, but it took Kiwis just 14 deliveries to strike the first dent on those hopes.
A great catch. It was almost a slow.
1 became 2 and 2 became 3. Even before the power play had ended, Afghanistan were 23 for 3 after 6 overs. Gulbadin Naib and Najibullah Zadran got a bit of partnership going before the former dragged one from Sodhi onto his stumps at the halfway mark.
That man again is Sodhi.
Najibullah, however, was the one who was causing most of the damage, and he had his skipper Mohammad Nabi at the other end.
Flashing blade, and there's...
The left-hander soon got to his half-century, one that came of 33 deliveries and the one his team desperately needed.
Half-century in T20 internationals. And
Najibullah was playing like a lone warrior and proved to be a thorn in the flesh for the Kiwis as Afghanistan went past the 100-run mark.
Goes after him big, this time mid-wicket. Oh my!
He was finally dismissed for a 48-ball 73, but his innings had allowed Afghanistan to post 124 for 8.
Quite brilliant, Jimmy Neesham.
New Zealand needed a good start and they began well before Mujibur Rahman got Afghanistan their first breakthrough.
Claiming it, and yes, they'll take...
The Kiwis went past the 50-run mark before Rashid Khan got Martin Guptill, and both the openers were back in the dressing room with the scoreboard reading 57 for 2.
From Martin Guptill, and it's...
If Afghanistan thought they had a chance, Kiwis had their skipper Kane Williamson at the crease along with Devin Conway. The two denied Afghanistan any opening or opportunity, and New Zealand sailed past the Afghanistan score, which proved to be a little too less for the Kiwis. With that victory, New Zealand also shut the door on India for a place in the semi-final and instead joined Pakistan in the last 4 stage from Group 2. Sports Bureau, India Today.
And that's all we have time for on this edition of First Up. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and stay tuned to us here in India Today. I'll be joining you with all the top stories in just a bit.